Hello everyone, Heather here from Berner Babies. Today's video is about introducing your new puppy to your current family dog. This is an important step in any family, and it's important that this is done appropriately. So there's two different ways to do this, and it's really based on how your current family dog is. Is your family dog docile, or are they more dominant? And only you can really determine that. So let's first talk about if you have a more docile dog. So if you have a docile dog, the way I do this at my house, and this is because my dogs are kind of used to having new dogs come in all the time. So when I walk into my home with a new puppy, I am holding the puppy and I kneel down and I let my dogs smell the new puppy. And that is a positive thing. So I overpraise my family dogs as they are being introduced to the puppy, and that interaction is positive. It's a positive thing. I'm petting my family dog, giving them more attention than the puppy, even though I'm holding the puppy, and I'm telling my current dogs that they are good boys and they are good girls, and how happy I am that they're accepting the new puppy. Now, the reason that I'm holding the puppy is because if anything goes wrong and there's any aggressive behavior, I can quickly stand up, still holding the puppy, and the puppy is safe. So that's very important. So that's why you hold the puppy and you're kneeling down, just in case anything goes wrong in that situation and there's any aggressive behavior at all. So if you happen to see aggressive behavior, you would immediately stand up and you tell your current dog, no, that is unacceptable. Let your dog kind of reset mentally and try again. So if you have a more dominant dog, what I would encourage you to do is have two members of the household, or if it's just you, then maybe a family friend, and do this in the front yard. So you bring your family dog out to the front yard and kind of the same thing, have your family dog on a leash and you hold the puppy in your hand while the other person holds your family dog on a leash. So you kneel down again, allow the dog to approach on a leash, the puppy. Over the top praise your family dog for any positive reaction to the puppy, sniffing, wagging their tail, just really positive reinforcement for just engaging with the puppy. So this, anytime you see any non-aggressive behavior, even if it's just smelling the puppy, over the top praise. What a good boy you are, what a good girl you are. Pet the family dog, really encourage that engagement. Okay, so once the initial interaction has happened, you still really don't want to leave the puppy and the current family dog kind of unsupervised, just in case. You just never know exactly how they're going to interact right away. But once you're really comfortable and your family dog is comfortable, obviously that unsupervised interaction is going to happen more and more. So one thing I do really want to stress to you is that your family dog right now, especially if you only have one, there's always a hierarchy in a dog pack. So like in my pack, I'm the boss. It's actually kind of funny because my husband is not the pack leader. And so if something is happening at my house, so for example, let's say there's a dog fight or something really crazy going on. My husband can say, knock it off, and they just flat out ignore him. I can say, knock it off, and everything stops. Like literally the world just stops. So there always is a hierarchy in a pack. And as a dog owner, you now become a part of that pack. And so with your current family dog, they're already established in the pack. So now comes this new puppy, and that new puppy has to establish their place in that hierarchy in the pack. So this is very important. You have to allow your current dog to correct your puppy. And I don't mean aggressively. So in a previous video, I mentioned that the mother dog will kind of snark and snap at her puppy when he or she does something that's inappropriate. Say she bites, the puppy bites her, or does something she doesn't like. She will correct that behavior with a snap and a loud bark. You have to allow that type of behavior in your own hierarchy within the pack. I'm not talking about a dog attack or aggressive behavior. I'm talking about if your puppy jumps on your family dog and your family dog does not like that, your dog will correct that puppy, saying that's bad manners and that's not acceptable. You have to allow that within the hierarchy. Your family dog is going to teach your puppy manners, what's acceptable to them and what's not acceptable to them. That is huge within the hierarchy. If you always are correcting your family dog anytime that dog is trying to correct your puppy, you're pushing them down the hierarchy. And not always is the older dog ends up higher on the hierarchy. I'll give an example of that later. But it is important that that behavior is corrected, because if you are constantly correcting that behavior in your current dog, they're going to feel diminished, like they have no say in the hierarchy, and that's not a good feeling for them. And this is especially true in senior dogs. Senior dogs can find the over rambunctiousness and the overzealousness and the playfulness of a puppy extremely annoying. I mean, let's face it, right? Grandma and grandpas, they don't always enjoy when a kid is very rowdy or being loud. It's kind of the same thing with a senior dog. They don't always enjoy when a puppy wants to play. Sometimes they just want to rest. So it is very important that you allow that correction to take place. So talking about establishing the hierarchy and where the older dog is not always the one that ends up higher in the pack. So I talked about Bailey and Bear in another video. So when we first got Bailey, we also had another dog. Her name was Brittany. She was a Border Collie Brittany Spaniel mix. I know the irony that her name was Brittany, but we didn't know she was a Brittany Spaniel mix when we first got her. So anyhow, Brittany was above everyone else in the hierarchy. So it was Brittany and then Bailey. Bailey never wanted to be the boss. She was very meek, very mild. She did not want to be the boss. So when Brittany passed away, Bear became the boss. And then as we added more dogs, there were kind of, you could see tension trying to establish dominance over who wanted to be the boss. Ellie, I mentioned her in that same video. Ellie is very headstrong. And so Ellie and Bear, there was there was tension between them of who wanted to be the boss. Bear ultimately ended up being the pack leader among the dogs, but that's kind of how it was. Bailey never, even though she was the oldest, she never was the pack leader. She never wanted to be. So once Brittany passed away as the pack leader, Bear established her dominance, not in a aggressive way or anything like that. It was just Bear was the boss. So now that Bear has passed away, it's actually Amaya, who is a 15-pound Yorkie, who is the boss. It does not matter who is the oldest, who is the biggest. It really just, it has to be established amongst themselves. So you as the person should always be number one. I say Amaya is the leader, and honestly, in my family, she probably is the boss of me too. But it really is, it should be all of the people. And among the people, there should be one person who, no matter what, is always number one, the boss. And then all of the people, including the children. And then the dogs establish a hierarchy amongst themselves. So you have to always allow that older dog to correct the puppy. It establishes manners. It establishes boundaries. A puppy should not be able to come in and bite their ears and bite their paws and things like that. You have to allow that correction. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. I get asked all the time, how do I introduce my new puppy to my dog? It really is the best way. Make sure you're holding them just in case there is any aggression. You always want to keep your puppy safe and allow your new dogs to teach your family dog to teach your new puppy manners. It really is important, and they will learn so much from your family dog. The best way to train a puppy is to let your older dog do it. Your new puppy will want to be your family dog's best friend, which is why sometimes they find them so annoying. They just want to follow them everywhere and do everything that they do. So just like a kid sister or kid brother would. So let them do that. Let them teach them the right way to do things, and you'll have a peaceful and happy household really within just a matter of weeks. They really truly will be best friends. You just have to let them kind of work it out amongst themselves without aggressive behavior. Obviously, you do have to correct aggressive behavior. But other than that, if you just see the correction, also scold the puppy, tell the older dog it's okay, and they'll work it out. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. If you have any questions about this, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to walk you through this. And as always, like and subscribe below. If you have any questions, you can write them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right. Again, thanks for adopting from Berner Babies. Again, I'm not a vet. This is just my experience as a breeder since 2006. And we'll see everybody later. Bye, guys.